Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into another fascinating piece from Anubhav Srivastava's How to Cope with a Brutal World.
Hmm.
This one's called Your First DUDY is Towards Yourself, which, right away kind of makes you stop and think, doesn't it? Challenges some common ideas.
It really does. And Srivastava, he's very direct about it. His core logic is basically, you can't help anyone if you yourself are miserable.
Right.
A starving and sick person cannot help anyone else. It's really just that airplane oxygen mask rule applied to, well, your whole life.
Secure your own mask first. Makes sense.
Exactly. Before you try helping anyone else, so you're actually able to help.
And he doesn't just leave it there, like, as an abstract idea. He gives a really practical example, doesn't he, about his diet?
Yeah, the dietary thing. He says, look, generally he eats vegetarian.
Okay.
But if the only veggie option is like super unhealthy, fat-laden, as he puts it, and there's a non-veg choice that's clearly healthier, well, he'll go for that.
Interesting. So it's not about the label itself.
Precisely. He says, I am not going to be held by ideologies if they're clearly not doing me any good at that time. Your first duty, it's to your body, your own well-being. That's your vehicle, right, for getting through this brutal world he talks about.
So it's about freeing yourself, really, from rules or labels that might actually be, holding you back or even harming you.
Exactly that. It's this idea of freedom from maybe restrictive thinking, whether that's about food or work or anything really. Prioritize what actually works for your well-being.
Okay. But then he takes it a step further, using some pretty stark nature metaphors.
The ruthless nature bits.
Yeah, like if a lion refuses to hunt out of compassion, can it survive?
Right.
And that mosquito one, wow. If you refuse to kill a mosquito out of compassion, don't complain when you later get malaria.
It's blunt, isn't it?
Very. It highlights that, while compassion's great, survival often requires something. While less gentle. A touch of ruthlessness, maybe. That feels a bit uncomfortable, though.
It can, yeah. Yeah. And he does circle back to nuance this later. But first, he does something quite brilliant, I think. He connects this basic survival idea to Friedrich Nietzsche.
To Nietzsche. Wow, okay. The Übermensch.
The Übermensch, exactly, the overman. And this is great. He even jokes about it.
Oh, yeah, I love this part. He says, it's okay. You need not worry about the pronunciation. Just worry about the concept, bro.
Yeah, it just makes this like heavy philosophical concept feel totally accessible.
So how does he define the Übermensch in this context?
Well, Srivastava frames it as someone who looks at society's rules, the prepackaged ones, and says, hold on. They don't just accept them. They actually create their own set of values that genuinely work best for their life.
So like consciously choosing your own path based on what actually serves you, rejecting stuff that doesn't.
Exactly. A deep, thoughtful rejection of just kind of going along with things without examining them, building your own code.
Okay, that's a powerful idea, but potentially dangerous too, right, if taken the wrong way.
Absolutely. And Srivastava seems very aware of that. He throws in this crucial disclaimer. It's actually quite funny.
Right, he says this is Nelson Mandela, Gandhi, or Galileo level stuff.
Yeah, not an excuse for like everyday rule breaking or, as he puts it, selling drugs.
And then the punchline. Also, it's really tough to be an Übermensch in prison.
Haha, yeah.
Yeah.
Grounds it immediately.
So it brings us back to that balance you mentioned earlier between self-interest and, not being a terrible person.
Right. He's very clear. This isn't about making your only duty to yourself. He explicitly warns against that, calls it a recipe for major disaster.
Okay, good.
The key word is first. Your first duty is to yourself. Build that solid foundation. Get your own oxygen mask on. Then you're actually in a position to contribute meaningfully to the world in a way you genuinely enjoy, not out of obligation or depletion.
So it's foundational, not selfish. Build yourself up so you can give back effectively.
You got it. That's the core message.
Wow. Okay, so we've gone from, like, vegetarian options to Nietzsche in prison all through this one short segment by Anubhav Srivastava. Pretty amazing distillation of ideas.
It really is. Which leaves us, and you listening, with the thought maybe, how could applying this principle, your first duty is to yourself, how could that actually empower you? Empower you to make choices that genuinely boost your own well-being.
Right.
So that maybe you can show up better in the world, contribute more effectively, more meaningfully.
Something definitely worth thinking about this week. Thanks for unpacking that.
My pleasure.
And thank you for joining us on the deep dive. Be sure to tune in next time as we dig into more insights from how to cope with a brutal world. You really won't want to miss it.